Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a book review on Chakana by W.E. Lawrence. Taking place in 1940, Chakana by W.E. Lawrence follows British secret agent James Fleming and Ohio police officer Kate Rhodes as they track down a lost Incan treasure in ancient Peruvian temples. This mission is life or death, and the fate of the world is in their hands, because if they fail, the treasure may wind up in the hands of the Nazi Third Reich. First of all, a disclaimer. I was contacted through email by W.E. Lawrence's people to give an honest review of this book, so thank you very much for giving me a copy of this book. So let's start off with the positive of this book. In general, this book is fun. It's fun and light. And there's a lot of action, and it moves really quickly. So yeah, never a dull moment in general. Some relatively likable characters, a good plot. And if I had to compare this book to something, it's basically Indiana Jones meets Tomb Raider. And I was even thinking that while I was reading this book that this would actually make the story would make for like a really good video game. Because the characters in this, they have to do a lot of puzzle solving, so I can imagine a video game, the two characters running around solving puzzles in ancient Peruvian temples. So yeah, if that sounds up your alley, if you like Indiana Jones with some Tomb Raider in there, plus a dash of romance and some action and whatnot, then this may be your cup of tea. But I do have more negative things to say than good things. Don't get me wrong though, this review, it might sound like I'm bitching and griping and complaining, but I don't want it to come across that way, because overall this is still a really good book, but it did have some things that frustrated me quite a bit. First of all, as I said in the very quick synopsis of this book, it takes place in 1940. It's historical fiction. But the biggest problem I had with this book is that I often forgot that this was historical fiction. You know, when you read a historical fiction book, little things and details pop out that constantly remind you are in a time period other than your own. And I don't think W.E. Lawrence really did that enough. You know, sometimes it often felt like I was reading a book that was taking place now. This book could have easily taken place at any other time period. It didn't have to be 1940 fighting against Nazi Germany. You could have changed the plot, and this could have taken place during the Cold War with these characters fighting communist Russians, or even moving the plot to a modern time frame and having these exact same characters fighting some Middle Eastern terrorist group. you get what I'm trying to say? Just the nature of this story, it did not have to be historical fiction whatsoever. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to say. The lack of clues in here tell me that it was 1940. It could have been any time. And then talking about Kate, the leading female protagonist in this story, I did find myself quite frustrated with her character because, once again, like I said, this is historical fiction, but the leading woman, Kate, she never came across as a woman from the 1940s. She felt like a woman in today's society. And I hate when books do that. I hate when books have very, very modern heroines, and it really throws me off, and it doesn't work. So yeah, what I'm trying to say, Kate had very modern ideas, you know, in regards to feminism. And like I also mentioned earlier, this book is historical romance to a degree. It's not like full-flung historical romance, but there is still romantic themes going on. And the sex scenes, you guys. Oh boy, the sex scenes. There's 4 major sex scenes that happen in this book. I'm not quite sure if that's a spoiler or not, but I feel like it needs to be said in this review. This book did not need 4 sex scenes, because that was just too many. This book is barely over 300 pages. And yeah, the 4 sex scenes take up pretty large chunks of the book, don't really provide much of anything. The book would have been fine with only 2 sex scenes, because at least the 2 that I'm thinking of, those helped move the plot forward, but the other 2 were just randomly there, served no purpose at all. And one of the major problems I have with this book, even though it is a very, very fast-paced book, and I like fast-paced books, this book is too fast-paced for its own good, which was often very frustrating. Because the 2 main characters, they meet and they have like an instant attraction with one another, like immediate. And yeah, the sex scenes, they don't follow too far behind once these 2 do meet. So yeah, the main characters, James and Kate, even though I did like them together and they had their own sort of chemistry with one another, I often kind of felt like their relationship was a bit forced on occasion, their sex scenes were forced on occasion. What I would have preferred to have seen with this book, you know, like I said, Kate and James immediately they like each other. I would have liked to have seen Kate be a bit more smart and intelligent. I would have liked to have seen her be a bit more suspicious of James, be a bit more distrustful of him, you know, and help build up that relationship where they do get trust with one another. And then the one final thing that I was really frustrated about with this book, the overall treasure hunt. This is historical fiction that is described as being like Indiana Jones, so you don't want the treasure hunt to be rapid and quick, and you don't want things to be easy. You want these characters to face obstacles and hardship while trying to get the mysterious treasure. So yeah, James and Kate, they would reach their destinations and things would just happen so quickly, so rapidly, and they'd have things figured out. I never really felt like James and Kate were in peril. You know, you want your characters to feel like they're in peril. You want to feel that there's danger around every corner. You want them to face dead ends, and you're like, oh my god, how are they going to get out of this situation? And the thing is, I really felt like they never faced true obstacles or true hardships. So yeah, overall, like I said, it probably sounds like I hate this book, but I don't hate this book. It's still very, very enjoyable, and it's light and fun. So I mean, that's how I would recommend this book. If you just want something light and fun, like a beach read, this would make for a really good beach read. You know, if you just need something to occupy your mind, something that will help the time slip by, you know, you can read this book very, very quickly. So yeah, light and fun. It does have some issues, but yeah, that's either the issues I pointed out are either going to bother you or they're not going to bother you. So yeah, you guys, have you read Chakana by W.E. Lawrence? Would you like to read it? Would you not like to read it? Just let me know down below. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this book review, you may like these other book reviews. Bye guys.